Welcome to the Yadusha Show, District 29's favorite podcast. Hey, everybody, and welcome back to the Yadusha Show. My name is Ann Johnston Brown. I'm one of your hosts, and I have the other host on the line, Yadusha Williams, running for Assembly District 29 right here in Henderson, Nevada. Hey, Yadusha, how you doing?
I'm doing beautiful. Thank you for doing this with me.
Well, we've been having a good time. You know, I just realized
Yes.
this is podcast number 23, and that's not too bad.
Wow.
Well, hey, so what's been going on? I know you're in a big meeting or something right now, and you just slipped away so we could do a little podcast.
Yeah, so it's just getting out to the volunteers. We're having a huge meeting. Just want to get people more informed, get more volunteers, get people excited about the things that are soon to come once we flip this city, the state red, really.
Right.
It's just super exciting. So we're here, we're getting prepared, we're getting organized because we need the right people in office. So I'm super excited.
I'm excited too, and I don't think it's going to be very hard for us to flip this state red.
Absolutely not. You should see how many volunteers I have here. Oh my gosh.
It's amazing, isn't it? And you know, it's funny too, because when they say that we're a blue state, I find that hard to believe. I stand in the grocery store line, I hear people talking, they're pro-Trump, they're just anti-woke. I talk to so many people. I've met one liberal, one Democrat. I've met one Democrat. I mean, I've lived here 3.5 years. So.
Wow. Yeah.
I mean, you've probably met more. You've been here your whole life, but wow.
Yeah, I know quite a few, but hey, I'm like, that's the whole point of that, that saying when they say every 7 years your life completely alternates. That's where I'm at right now.
Right. It's so true. And hey, by the way, you brought up volunteers. We are still looking for volunteers. We would love for you to reach out to us.
Yes.
In fact, just give me an email. I check my email every day and would love to hear from you. info@williams4nv.com. So let us know if you're interested, because we've got something you can do. All right. I think we have a wonderful guest on the line. What do you think? Should we get to Brian?
Absolutely. I'm excited.
Here we go. Brian Paonessa is a dedicated nurse and entrepreneur with a clear vision for Nevada's future. Brian's priorities reflect a deep commitment to improving the lives of fellow Nevadans across a vast network of backgrounds and experience. He stands for healthcare reform, school choice, public safety, and traditional values. Brian is currently running for Nevada State Senate District 11, and he's here with us now. How you doing, Brian?
Doing well. Thanks so much for having me.
Well, thanks for being on the line, and I think Yadusha has a few questions, so take it away.
Yeah, so thanks again for being here. We really do appreciate it. So one of the biggest things that stand out about you is school choice. And people's been talking about voucher programs in addition to that in Nevada. How do you plan to address the current challenges facing on our education system?
Yeah, so being a nurse, I've taken care of a lot of Clark County School District teachers, and I've spoken to them and listened to their thoughts and their views about what's the challenges that they face, and not having the important role and the voice that they're supported by their industry. And it's very familiar to what I'm facing as a nurse too. Respecting parents and respecting the choices that they have to whether they want to take their child private or public, that's totally up to them. But I think too, one of the biggest things is we need to understand as a community and a city is we can get the best teachers in the world. But it comes to children respecting adults outside of the workplace or outside of the home. The parents have to understand they are a direct reflection of their children, or the children are the direct reflection of them when they step outside. When their children and their kids speak to Metro or other adults, where is that respect?
The people do not teach their kids about respect, which in turn, it destroys our community because they have no respect for the people in the community.
And I've seen it firsthand, being a registered nurse working inside the juvenile detention center. I've screened hundreds, if not thousands, of kids, ranging from ages 8 to 15 years old.
Wow.
And seeing the lack of discipline and the lack of being interested in a future and direction of where they want to go.
So with that being said, how would you propose we improve public safety? Because we know it's coming from that age demographic there.
Yeah, well, you have to flood your systems with qualified candidates who really want to be in public safety. And again, I speak on behalf of speaking with Metro, working with the police departments and, listening to them doing these community walks and these coffee events that they have and hearing to say, look, we live in a city in Las Vegas where we have the best entertainment, the best attractions in the world. We're known worldwide for our restaurants, our retail shops, our hotels and attractions. Well, why are we not rolling out the red carpet for other first responders like Metro, like teachers and right. firefighters and military and especially nurses? I mean, before the pandemic, nurses weren't even thrown into the first responder category. And right. when you look at the statistics of it, there's over 4.2 million nurses in the nation. Believe it or not, we outnumber the military 3-1, but we don't have the types of programs that they have for military and teachers. They have home buying incentives, they have credit unions. And it's like those programs are already set up and running for other responders, other first responders. And why can't we take those ideas and trickle it over to our healthcare industry, which right. again will improve our nursing shortages and improve the morale of people outside of the workplace? Because guess what? That's how people come back to work stronger, is when they take care of themselves outside of the workplace.
Absolutely.
And when I speak to people who are like, what are you talking about? Well, if nurses work 3 12-hour shifts, there's 4 days out of the week where they need to recover and get themselves physically, mentally, and spiritually ready to take care of humanity and the community for the next, 3 12-hour shifts. And you can ask any nurse out there. It's very physically and mentally challenging.
And I know a lot of nurses, so I completely agree. They go through a lot. Now, what changes would you advocate for Nevada's nurses in the healthcare system?
Well, you have to start focusing on the schools first. And what I mean by that is this. You have to build resilience within your workforce before anything's going to change. And that starts with their educational systems. Now, when you look at me running for state senator, you kind of get 2 birds, 1 stone. I want to show the public and the community how I can create pilot programs with inside nursing schools. Now, I may be thrown underneath the bus for this, but I'll be honest with you. At the end of the day, these nursing schools need to look at themselves in the mirror and say, look, we are outdated. Everything that we're doing is expired, if you will. Why are we not taking our retired nurses and funneling them back into our school systems to create a mentorship program above and beyond teacher-student when they graduate?
That's a great idea.
Think about it like this. You can't put a price tag on 15, 20, 30 years of experience. You just can't. With our educational programs, you need a master's degree to teach, which, again, that's the outdated version where I'm coming in and say with a new innovative approach and say, look, guys, I need to flood our systems, our school systems with more real world experience, if you will.
Yeah.
That's how schools can get more people to come to their schools. That's how they can get more instructors, because guess what? At the end of the day, you need more clinical instructors to get more students.
I agree. Now, with these initiatives, it comes with building new proper businesses, a lot of new small businesses. What initiatives will you promote to support small businesses and entrepreneurship?
Sure. Well, one of the things I did once I stepped out of the hospital system, believe it or not, after the pandemic. And I really wanted to keep that light that was shining brightly on the nursing industry, basically keep it going. So I created a program called FFN. It's like a military discount, but it's for the nursing industry. So I've created over 146 local business partners. Now that includes restaurants, retail shops, hotels, spas, travels, gyms, hair salon, nail salons, because those are the things that nurses use outside of the workplace. And I wanted small businesses to recognize and understand that they can use the pandemic as a marketing tool to give back to the people that work through it. And my company doesn't charge anything to the business because we're all working together to promote that business growing and giving back to an industry that has gotten nothing. Right now, you look at the numbers now, there's about 44,000 nurses in Nevada. Now, that my program includes nursing students, because they need to be rewarded as well. They need to keep that ambition and that fire and that excitement going. They need to be rewarded too and recognized as a student, because it's not easy. I mean, nursing school is difficult. I'm a prime example. I failed nursing school twice. I got hired finally out of nursing school after, standing up for myself in front of the dean, in front of the board, to get back into nursing school. And then a month later, I lost my job. Do you know why? I failed my boards.
Wow.
I've been through a lot as far as to get to where I'm at today. And that's why I'm really throwing my hat in the ring to say, look, I've been through, and you can say I'm kind of battle born, being an athlete and growing up in that kind of environment, and understanding that you need thick skin and you need to build that resilience and character in you. And it takes time. But once you do that, you're unstoppable. And that's where the attitude and mindset that I'm bringing into this whole state Senate run, because I believe taking care of the community for the last 9.5 years here in Las Vegas, doing multiple jobs in the nursing industry when it comes to med-surg, surgical, IV therapy, juvenile detention center, and home health, how patients are falling through the gaps when they leave the doors of the hospital. And a lot of that has to do with just the lack of communication between physicians. The reason why there's so much the lack of communication is because doctors are overworked, because we have the issue quantity versus quality. There are so many people that are moving to Las Vegas, which is exciting. And it's great, but at the end of the day, we need more healthcare.
Right. And there is a lot of people coming to Vegas, good and bad.
Right.
And the biggest issue right now that we're having is we're seeing a huge flood of immigrations come into the valley. And it is like, that's where a lot of crime is coming from as well. What's your stance on immigration policy at the state level? How do you believe we, as Nevadans, should address that issue?
Well, you look at what Ron DeSantis did with Florida. You look how he stepped up to the plate and does it his own way. When the government steps in, well, guess what? He's running the state, and he has his own laws and the way he runs things. Well, I give credit to him. Whether you like the guy or not, look at what he did during the pandemic, and look what he's doing with immigration now. You got to give the guy kudos. And it's like, why can't we have leaders like that? Or why can't we question our leaders to say, why can't we do that here in Nevada? We have no problems being innovative and different when it comes to building hotels and building these resorts and these casinos and restaurants. Well, why can't we have that mindset in other areas?
I agree.
Well,
before we let you go, Brian, I really thank you, and I could ask you millions of questions. Just so the listeners can know more about you, where can they find you at?
So you can go to PaonessaforNevada.com. That is my website, and it's the regular 4. It's spelled out. And you can call me 702-900-5483 or Brian@PaonessaforNevada.com. That is my email. By all means, my world is open. I work full-time as a nurse, and I am very excited and grateful to be in this spot talking with you guys. And
we appreciate you coming on, Brian. It's been very interesting. And I may sound old-fashioned, but I don't know many male nurses, and you're about as male as it gets. By the way, when you go to his Instagram account, you'll know what I mean. You're a motorcycle rider too, I think.
I am. Yes. Well, I used to be a personal trainer for 10 years and being an athlete my whole life.
Yeah.
So that's really a lot of things that are built, my character to lead me into this spot.
That's fantastic. So, Well, thanks so much, Brian. And by the way, I want to remind everyone that we have a conservative town hall coming up just day after tomorrow at Wednesday, May 22nd from 6 to 7:30. Yadusha and several of her other conservative friends will be participating at Joe's Place on Gibson Road in Henderson. So this is your chance to have your voice heard and engage with your future representatives. Let us know that you want to be there by going to williams4nv.com. Hey guys, it's been really great. Thanks again to Brian. Thank you, Yadusha, and we'll see you guys next time.